Hello, and welcome back to The Bastard Children of Everil and Un Bardoon Adventure. Previously on The Bastard Children of Everil, having dispatched the Empress and saving Redoran for the second time in a short time frame, the bastards took time to care for those affected by the attack and then went to the Brown Barrel Tavern to decompress. Tilda, having not been in a tavern for a while, immediately dove headfirst into gelatin shots, polishing off other people's full cups and eating the aforementioned gelatin shots off the floor. Quincy was likewise very drunk. Amidst the revels, Helaena was uneasy and posed the question of what should be done next. Abydan and Buddy, the only other sober ones at the time, reiterated their plan from before: continue throughout the kingdom of Everil and see who needs their help while drumming up support for King Quincy, who was currently telling a group of strangers a very embarrassing drunken story. Quincy returned with a round of drinks, and Tilda and Helaena went outside for Tilda to evacuate her stomach of the gelatin. Abydan used his healing abilities to cleanse the alcohol from Quincy, who suddenly sobered up. Buddy asked if Abydan could teach him how to commune with higher powers, and as he was explaining, Abydan heard a raspy voice in his head, charging him not to speak their name. At the same time, Buddy heard a voice in his head speaking about Everil and another entity joining forces and charged him to save the world. As they started to discuss what just happened, the image of a demon and a dragon appeared for the first time on Buddy's black card. They knew it to be referring to Everil and Drasil, the sealed goddess who created the now extinct dragons. Helaena and Tilda returned, and Helaena was approached by a guard, who informed her that the captain of Redoran's guard was killed in the fight with the Empress. She excused herself, and the bastards continued discussing what had just occurred with Tilda passed out on the floor. Nantucket hopped on Tilda's head and rode her out of the tavern, going to look for Helaena, and Buddy followed behind, feeling left out on Tilda and Nantucket's friendship. Quincy and Abydan remained in the tavern, and Abydan received another message. The entity that had been sending him premonitions was finally revealed. Adarine, goddess of dreams, prophecy, and time. She explained to him that the reason Everil lived so long and that the kingdom was prosperous was because she and Avera had a deal together, that as long as Everil would never war with other kingdoms, he established a church in her name, and there was always a blood heir on the throne, then her favor would persist. Buddy and Tilda found Helaena at the manor house, poring over many papers. She informed them of what had happened, and sent a messenger to bring Quincy and Abydan to them. When they arrived, she laid out the issue at hand. Redoran was left without a leader for the guards, and with the threat of more attacks still looming over them, she said, "I'm needed here." And that is where we are in The Bastard Children of Everil and Un Bardoon Adventure. And the story continues now. I'm sorry. What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that I stay behind in Redoran.
I
I don't know
I'm
if Abydan and I can just swap keys if that makes anyone feel better, but
no.
I
I hear the words that you're saying, but I don't hear the subtext that's supposed to be going on here. Are you saying that you're abandoning our family?
Quincy, it hasn't been a secret from the beginning that I consider you all comrades in arms, but genuine blood siblings is a bit of a stretch. We didn't grow up together. None of us shared upbringing. The person I have the most in common with is Buddy
Hey,
because of our upbringing, but we don't know each other. And I understand that that's something that comes with time, but in war, you don't often get that time. I would kill and die for any of you on the battlefield, but right now, I think my life is better spent killing and dying for the people of this town. They are in chaos. They are terrified. They have lost their captain of the guard. The person who knows the city inside and out, who knows what points are weak and what points are strong. And in the brief time I had to work with them, she at least gave me some education. They need a leader, and they don't have one.
That is a lot, but I kind of had a feeling you would choose the military over us.
To be fair, it's had 16 years of my life, and we've only been together a couple of weeks. And I feel like I can make more of a difference here in Redoran on a smaller scale than I can on whatever mission you all have decided to be on. As admirable as it is, we freed Redoran. Now someone needs to hold it. And if that's me, fine. Then I'm in my element doing what I know how to do.
She's
Helaena,
right. Deep down, we're going to resist it, but she's right. Someone needs to hold Redoran.
I know if we're going by that list and the keys we got, then it should be Abydan, but that doesn't make any sense. It's like fate opened up a spot here. They lost their captain of the guard. That's what I'm familiar with.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but not sure the keys are for the city. Given recent revelations that we all need to talk about after this, I think the keys are necessary for something else, and I think they all need to be together. But I'm more than willing to trade claims with you. You're here now, and you can help these people. They deserve a good leader. They deserve someone who can keep them safe this time.
I'm not claiming to take the mayorship. I'm just claiming to guard the borders until the people can elect a mayor. Keep that in mind.
Keep in mind, if you do such a good job, they may just elect you anyway.
Don't even put that in their heads.
Wouldn't
Helaena,
that be funny? Some
it's
irony
already
for
in
us.
them. Whoever stays behind here, who had anything to do with this whole affair, you can notice that Abydan is very much putting on a front as he's talking. He's letting logic kind of drive what he's saying, while still feeling very emotional in the moment. I think that you would be a good fit for this place. Besides, it's very defensible.
At the very least, they respect my expertise in warfare. And it won't take much to convince them to sort of let me take over as captain of the guard. These people have lost so much.
They deserve someone who can give something back to them. And you're that person.
Can I be honest with you all?
Of course.
You're talking about instigating a war, and that isn't something I think I can do. This, guarding a city, yes, but warfare is a different animal, and I am afraid.
You're afraid. The one who's been talking this entire time. Oh, I fought and killed this person. I fought and killed that person. What makes you so afraid of this?
Bravery, courage, killing, fighting don't happen in the absence of fear. You fight because you are afraid to lose something. You fight because what you are fighting for is worth more than your fear. You kill because you would rather sully your soul than watch the souls of your loved ones go into the afterworld or be sullied with the horrors of whatever you are protecting them from. I am afraid of a lot of things, but I push through that fear because my love and my desire to protect is stronger than that. And I have a desire to protect you all, but it is outweighed by my desire to protect these people. You all have skills beyond what the common baker or butcher or candlestick maker does. And I believe, after our last fight, that you all can take care of yourselves without me. These people, I'm not so sure.
We'll miss you, Helaena.
I'll miss you too.
Now, what are we going to do about my wartime military lessons I was promised?
don't worry, I've got that covered.
No.
Admiral
Helaena,
Budrick, at your service, and I'm gonna take one of the cloaks off of the generals. I'll be like, hey, let me borrow this.
Take it.
Sorry,
Take his medals too.
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm gonna borrow this. Yep. Thank you. If you question me, it's your head. All right. Admiral Budrick will oversee your lessons.
Have you
Helaena,
decided to join the Navy, buddy?
titles find their way to me. Helaena,
Yeah, go ahead.
I love you. And if this is what you feel is right in your heart of hearts, this is, if you are protecting people, if you are dying for people, that's your choice. But if I can inspire one piece of advice, don't die for these people. Live for these people. And come back to us one day.
I'll do my best.
And you, General who gave me the tea and also my cloak, what's your name?
Rufus.
Rufus?
Rufus the Guard.
You're a general named Rufus the Guard?
That's right.
That's
The
unfortunate.
title is Rufus the Guard, comma, the General.
Okay. Great,
Is
great,
comma
great.
spelled out or just a comma?
It's spelled coma without the second M.
Helaena, are you
We're-
sure you want to be with these people? You sure?
Helena's look says this is why they need her to help.
We're not leveled up at this point, right?
You're about to be.
But can I, for
And Buddy
flavor's
to be
sake,
level 4.
can I
Buddy, you're
go
level 4.
ahead and be level 4?
Buddy, you're level 4.
Okay, great. I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna do a combination of things.
Oh.
First thing I do is I'm gonna minor illusion my eyes to begin glowing like this dark purple flame, and I'm gonna say, if you let anything happen to this woman, and then I'm gonna cast darkness. And I'm gonna use my telepathic feat to speak to every single person in this room. You will all die by my hand. And I'm going to drop and then I'm gonna drop darkness and be standing behind him like with my arms in the air like a little gargoyle, like completely breaking the illusion of fear, but setting up like all of these magical, like horrifying things and making it seem like I'm this all-powerful being and just being like at the end.
Helaena puts both hands on her face this time and like slams her forehead into her hands like, oh my
Can you-
god.
Can you
I
roll for
Tilda
performance,
was.
buddy?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it.
Guidance. Oh, a 19 on the die. Plus
Woo.
1 plus 4, so 24.
Yeah, the was really what sold it because you're speaking in an ancient tongue they're not familiar with.
Tilda was just still like hungover enough that like the little leftover just kind of like came out, and then I realized it's Buddy doing it.
Can
I
I
just don't-
add one thing actually to it?
By all means.
Can I have spider climbed and done like from the ceiling?
Oh, 10 out of 10, yes.
What the hell, buddy? Stop.
Which
That was
hell?
the most southern I think I've ever heard Kate.
What
the hell,
buddy?
hell,
What the hell?
Sound like Rogue from X-Men.
Okay, this is callback to one of the first episodes where I accidentally really dropped into a southern accent, and
What the hell?
Chaz made fun of me for it, and so
Yeah.
Tilda is canonically sometimes southern.
When scared.
She has
Every
she
planet
has
has a
a
south.
list. Yes, that's true.
What the hell, buddy?
Even
I
England
just-
has a south.
Here's the thing: I did just ride off into the sunset like a beautiful little cowboy. So
Weren't you the
Therefore.
one being ridden though?
I was gonna say.
I was
Am
the
I
Wow.
horse.
understood? Everyone, am I understood? Am I understood?
Yes, sir. Budget.
Understood there, Captain.
Admiral.
Oh,
Ad-
goodness.
Admiral of the land.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm keeping the cloak.
That was mine.
Give me your sword too.
Uh,
Give me your sword. Give me your
Buddy,
sword.
we're
I
already
wanna
undersupplied as it is.
You're right.
No, Lord
Your sword.
Budrick demands it.
And I'm gonna use it as cane.
Don't dull the tip.
It's
alright.
in the sheath.
Oh, yep. That's a sheath. It's so dark.
As you all can see, I have a lot of work
They'll
to
make
do.
anyone a general and around these days.
I'm beginning to see your point.
Quincy
But-
has not been his normal cheery self as can be. Even with something as ridiculous as this. Yeah. Go ahead with what you were saying.
Who?
Come back to
Helaena
us,
or
Helaena.
me?
Quincy, what are you thinking? You're awfully quiet.
Well, Mother always said, can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But ultimately, I do believe that you're right in your decision. But I don't think you're telling us the full reason. And you may be, but I thought that we were starting to really bond as a family. I thought we were all in this together. I mean, that's one of the reasons that we keep going, because we're in it together.
And you four will continue to travel together, but I'll be here protecting Redoran and raising support for King Quincy Durand, leader of the rebellion.
I guess that is a form of sticking together. You're just on a different side of it. You know, as we've been traveling together, it does seem like we have a lot in common, though we have very, very major differences. I mean, we're roughly the same age. We have very similar eye colors, even. We both are very familiar with the military. I just thought that we would have been closer than what we are. And I was still holding out hope for that. I'm sorry if I'm blaming you for whatever, but your actions with the body of Versi has just put a very sour taste in my mouth. And we don't have to get into all that because you're not going to be traveling with us, but just felt like you were using the body of Andre the same as Versi. That is what I'm afraid of here. Is that in our pursuit of getting back at or freeing this kingdom, that we'll do or commit or become similar to our enemies. I don't want you to go that direction.
That is a very noble fear for yourself, for Tilda, for Buddy, for Abydan, but I have been who I am for a long time. I have done things that I'm not necessarily proud of, but that in the moment I felt were necessary. I've done things I regret. I've done terrible things that I don't regret at all. But I recognize that to the eyes of an outsider, they would translate poorly. This, who I have been, is me. And maybe that's part of why I feel it's best for me to stay here. You all are bright-eyed and hopeful and convinced that you are going to bond and be a family and that everything will turn out all right in the end. And I don't know that I am any of those things. And I admire and envy you all for that hope, for that brightness, for the fact that the dirt and the mud and the horrors of life don't seem to have dimmed your spirits, especially you, Buddy, Tilda. You've both suffered true hardship, but that isn't so for me. Let me put my darkness to use. Let me put my cynicism to use here, protecting people. I was never meant to be the hero in any story. But to be the shield, that's something I can do.
Can we clear the room of everybody except for family?
Helaena
guys
clears.
leave.
Yeah, Helaena
Yeah.
clears the room.
Yeah. The room clears.
Well, Helaena, if this is goodbye, and I don't know if we're gonna see you again, I think there's something you should know. My real name isn't Buddy Luckyhands. It's not Admiral Budrick, not Lord Budrick, not even Sir Buddy. My real name is Avarin.
Avarin. I like it.
I don't.
Do you know what it means?
I think it was just a play off of the king's name.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. So why do you go by Buddy?
I don't know. Why wouldn't I want to be everyone's friend? And how can you say that I don't have lucky hands? I mean, look at me.
The name
I
does
hold
fit.
up my 8 fingers. Don't worry, they only got 3 of my toes. So I've got 8 of them.
Great.
Yes,
Great.
buddy, that's how that works.
I started with 11.
Oh,
That is how that works then.
Don't forget that. It's a very, very well illustrated point.
Yeah.
that's...
Don't tell anyone. And I minor illusion my eyes to be that purple, or in the telepathic play, or you'll be dead by my hand.
Noted, buddy, noted.
Is it the same voice that spoke to me when I picked up the shield?
Yeah,
No.
it totally is.
Buddy, were
What?
you the one that spoke into my mind? when you
No!
picked up that shield?
No, I wouldn't do that.
All right.
You
It was
absolutely
me,
would.
Abydan.
Wait, guidance.
Smacks
Oh no,
on
that's an
face.
8 on the die, but a 4 on my guidance plus 6, so 14, 18
18.
on my deception.
Roll again, because I got an 18 too.
Oh, you got an 18 too? Guidance. Oh, that's a natural 1!
Oh no!
That's a natural 9.
The deception has fallen.
But
Um,
in total, that would be a 9.
In all sincerity, buddy, I do like that name.
As do I.
Bunch of nerds.
We
Very much
are. I have a 16 intelligence.
I spend a lot of time in the library. You're doing the right thing for the right reasons, Helaena.
all,
Both of you.
all that I'll say is, as you know, my father was a knight. And while, again, as you know, he was dishonorably discharged, he wasn't always the person who was dishonorably discharged. And I don't necessarily think it was because of his job that it became that way. What I'm trying to say is, I guess he just set a standard in my mind that I'm trying to hold you to, and I apologize for that.
We all have our ideals, Quincy. Don't ever apologize for holding the world to a higher standard, even if it can't reach it. And you hold yourself to that ideal as well, but remember to give yourself grace when you fall short from it. You are not your father, and that's probably a good thing. The world needs Quincy Durand, not Sir Durand.
What it needs is a Durand who can properly handle a sword. Goodness.
Or a musical.
And not die in the
artist,
process?
Durand.
Wait, what did you say, Helaena?
And not die in the process?
That's, yes, that too.
And that's
You'll
what I've been
get
trying to
better
tell
with
you.
time and practice.
Though I
So-
do feel a little bit tougher after that last encounter. I feel like my skin is growing thicker, like I took a feat or something.
Well, you look
Weird.
pasty.
Not until after this.
It's
This is-
starting
That's
to
how
grow
you get the
called-
prophecy.
That's called foreshadowing.
Well, we still have, what, 2 days left, 3 days left before we depart Redoran, so there's plenty of time for goodbyes and preparations. But before all that, Quincy and I need to share something with all of you. Even if you are remaining here, there's things you need to know.
All right. You're not gonna steal my thunder and say your name is not Abydan, right?
No, it's
Okay.
about our father's history and how everything's come to pass. At least how we think it has. Vara entered into a pact with a certain deity whose name I dare not speak.
It was Adirine.
Thank you, Quincy, because
I'm not under the same jurisdiction as he. He was told not to speak the name. I was.
how were we to know? No, we weren't there.
This pact was broken because one of its conditions was that true blood heir would sit the throne of Everil. My conclusion, and I think Quincy agrees, is that Herix is indeed not our father's son.
I told you, I've been saying that since the very beginning. He seemed suspicious and he seemed weird and he had something weird in his eyes. I knew it.
But does Adirine consider bastards true blood? I mean, most noble houses and royal families don't. You need to be married to the bearer of your child.
But what is a king to a god and all that?
And what is a Kanye?
Don't want to know. What is a Kanye? Let's answer that question.
Non-believer. Anyway, I don't know the answer to that, but either we somehow conjure up a true blood heir, or one of us succeeds to the throne.
Why did he leave Everil to Herix then?
Right, that's my question.
Did he or did the queen?
Well, if the will was changed, wouldn't they have simply written us out of it? My other question is, she seemed genuinely very shocked that there were bastard children named in the will. If she had done something to her son's advantage,
Galaxy brain moment right now. You ready for this?
Absolutely.
The will wasn't just changed at the last second once, but twice. It was changed, leaving everything to Herix, and then he got word of it, and he added us back in.
So Herix is really a good guy.
No. You're missing the point.
Wait, who added us back in?
The king, Dad.
Oh, the king is the one who wrote the will.
Yeah. And then the queen changed it, and then he knew, and he changed it back, and it was like a spite, like, haha, what if I put my bastards in there?
Hey, DM?
Yes.
DM, are official documents spelled against, like, counterfeiting and things like that in...
They would be.
Okay. Second question, am I able to do, like, a retrospective insight check trying to recall whether I thought the Queen's surprise seemed genuine?
Yeah, roll for retrospective insight.
Helaena, you're doing a great job taking over. I give you bardic inspiration.
Well, no, my logic behind it as the dungeon master is that with new information, you'd be able to determine X, Y, and Z.
Okay. I have guidance, which is plus D4, and your bardic inspiration is a D6 right now, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. 11 on the die, plus 6 insight is 17. Plus 4...
21.
21, and I'm going to go ahead and use my bardic inspiration, which is a 6! So that's a 27. That's a 27 total. I rolled max for guidance and bardic.
It was
whoa
meant,
there.
meant to be.
Whoa there. Whoa there. Your insight gives you a couple of key points. Number one, dismissing Abydan and Quincy's proposed theory, Herix Halbin is in fact Herix Halbin Everil. He is the true blood heir. There was no breaking of the agreement there.
Oh, okay.
I'll go ahead and give you that. Now, what else are you looking for?
did Queen Dahlia Shawn, did her surprise seem genuine at the will?
Dahlia Shawn's surprise was very much so real that there were a total of 5 bastard children.
Okay.
All of which being bastard children, as in sons and daughters of the king, not of Dahlia Shawn, or the prior 2 queens.
Okay. With that 27, may I have one more retrospective insight question?
Go for it.
Herrick's behavior, because I, Tara the player, and Helaena is also probably trying to figure out, all right, he's a true blood heir, but he's letting in mind flayers. Does it seem like he, as a child, is extra susceptible to mind flayer influence? Is he moving in a way that would indicate he is under influence or something?
Ooh, girl. You getting ahead?
Now he's frozen.
I like it. Simple as this. I'm gonna roll a d20, then you, if you will, please do the same. If you get higher than me, I'll give you a little bit more information.
Okay. I did
My
say that
natural
27.
roll.
Can I have another question?
My natural roll is an 11.
That's something.
Blowing on the dice. Kate's like doing good luck. There's a cat here. 16!
16!
You did get an 11, so.
Here is definitive information. Definitive information that will not change, that has not changed. Herrick's Albin Everil. He is, in fact, the true blood heir to the kingdom of Everil. However, was gypped by Avera Everil by removing the monarchy and turning it into a faction system. Herrick's has made a deal with Shavera to ensure the peaceful takeover of the city and of the kingdom, to ensure that the monarchy stands and that none of the regal prosperers can take the throne.
So dear old dad told him what he was gonna do.
Dear old dad had nothing to do with it. As much a
So
bastard in all but name as what you all were.
How did Herrick's know?
Ah.
Yeah, that's what there's no way we would know this, but now my brain is going, okay, did Avera discuss this with Herrick's and say, hey, as the representative of Everil, it's your job to make sure there's a peaceful transition? And Herrick's went, nope.
There was one other person in the room who was there at the reading of the will.
Oh, yeah.
There's one other significant person of it, and that is the prophet Amestra, who is supposed to watch as Herrick's took over the kingdom and allows the provided support to him as he makes good on his promises to other, we'll call them factions.
You guys see Helaena almost like she has zoned out. And Quincy, you kind of recognize this as someone who is like analyzing a battle or a series of events. And it's a good 30 to 45 seconds. She eventually, 15 seconds in, closes her eyes, kind of puts her hand up under her chin, and then she opens her eyes and goes, no, Herrick's has to be King Avera's son. The hair, the nose, there were too many similar features. And the queen, that surprise was genuine. She didn't know. So what if Herrick's didn't like that he was getting passed over, that he wasn't getting the inheritance he thought he was supposed to?
And before you can finish that thought, Tilda just kind of runs towards you and trips into you and is like, but he was a little snake. He's got to be awful, right? He's
Helaena catches Tilda and goes, yes, Tilda, he's a very bad person. He let mind flayers into the kingdom. That's very bad.
He can't be the true king. He's a word that I shouldn't say.
Well, you don't have to say it, Tilda. I think we understand the
He's a
sentiment.
bitch.
No.
Tilda, you
That's-
can't
that's-
say that about a child.
Abydan's word.
You can't say that.
I'm sorry.
Only the priest can call people that.
Quincy, shut the hell up, bitch.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Anyway.
So, if the pact between the king and Adirine didn't account for his true-born heir being a problem,
There's always the other part of the pact I hadn't mentioned yet.
Well, yes, so whenever the prophetess had that spurt, I think it was before the numbers or it was after, I'm not sure. She mentioned Everil, which is the quote-unquote Lord God of Death, which we know to be essentially the god of the hells, and also the Nymeris, which we've already seen the Empress, which is a direct result of that, and the Displacer Beasts are also from the Nymeris. So it could be that, but the fact that his eyes were red and purple were potentially indicators that he and the fog being black. Anyway, there's all sorts of indications that he potentially struck up a deal with the Hells, wherever the Hells mind flayers comes from, and whoever's in control of the Nymeris.
There's
oh,
there's something more pressing than it. If Herix is the true blood heir, the other part of the pact may come into effect. The other part was that the bloodline was not allowed to make war with cities or other nations. I would call this a war of subjugation, would you not?
if we declare war and Herix responds affirmatively, if we can gather enough people and make ourselves a threat and he responds with warfare, then the pact is broken.
But my worry is that if all this happening is not the repercussions of a 1,000-year-old divine pact, what will be?
That's my concern as well. If this is simply what Herix is doing in an attempt to keep his throne, what happens when it's no longer his at all? This is sort of like a temper tantrum to the extreme.
Don't think we can really say.
Beyond the scope of our imagination.
Abydan, the goddess of dreams appears to you once again, Abydan.
Appears?
In his mind.
Like appears? Oh.
In his mind,
I roll back.
Driscalo mustn't come awake again. If he does, my church is gone. If he does awake, Driscalo must be driven deep back into the extensive mines of Delavic. The church of Adirine must be established to its one great state from 1,000 years ago, giving me power, giving you the power in which you seek. You must assist Herix, Halbin, Everil in taking control of the kingdom of Everil, who will take the throne.
Does she begin to retreat from my mind?
That is correct.
As she begins to, cast my spiritual presence at it or clawing at it and wait, before you go, the numbers, what did they mean? A messenger repeated them. Fell into unconsciousness. What is it?
The numbers were simply a warning of Drascalo. The prophetess saw it as numbers from the letter you received, speaking of coming to the reading of the will in fear of Drascalo. Gone.
Abydan, are you all right?
Another message from our patron. There's more at play than we thought. Much more. Does anyone still have the letter from when we were summoned?
Sure. And Helaena goes for her pack, which is probably up against the wall, and finds it and pulls it out. Passes it to Abydan.
Numbers. Bring me a quill as well. The numbers
She grabs one off the table.
translate out into a message, a warning. We were too blind to see it at the time, but
DM, can I attempt to transcribe what the message from the letter would be with this foreknowledge? And if I remember right, the numbers we have perfect replay in our head.
Yeah, that's 215, 115, 3, 8, 323, 449, 54, etc., etc., etc.
What I spell?
It is from your letter. The letter that you all received, beginning with Honorable Citizen. I hope this letter finds you well. You're being cordially invited to the reading of King Everil's will as he is on his deathbed.
Yeah, I don't have that in time. I don't have
Yeah.
that in front of me to write on. But
Yeah, I
and
also
also to
don't
save
have
us
the
time.
transcription.
But do you have what it means?
I
That's
don't
what
have the
meant.
transcription. I don't have the transcription right off. Noah.
that sucks then. Anyway,
Sorry.
I'll puzzle this out later.
I'll get you the transcription.
Aha, this is what it says. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hold on. We'll insert what the transcription actually says in 3, 2, 1.
We, the people of the United States, in order for a more perfect union, establish justice to assure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general brand.
But isn't it kind of important?
That was the Constitution of the United States of America.
Isn't it kind of important for us to go forward?
No, it is literally just a warning of Drascalo.
Oh,
That's it.
So it was a warning of the sky.
But it's just his name, effectively.
Okay. Alright, look, it spells out Drascalo. It spells out this guy's name. Beep. Oh, that was close. It spells out this guy's name. Apparently, the nation has to be united, otherwise he's going to break free. And the church of our patron will be destroyed. If he's freed, then we have to drive him back into the mines of Delovic. Unfortunately, our patron says that since Herix is the true blood heir, we need to work with him, which means,
Work with him?
I think, work with the real Herix.
Here's my question. Herrick seemed to have made the pacts of his own free will in order to ensure a smooth transfer of power. Why would there have been any indication that there wouldn't be a smooth transfer of power? Why did he feel like he needed such powerful and admittedly morally gray allies to help keep him on the throne? He's the true blood heir. What would the people's issue have been with him succeeding the king?
It might have something to do with Queen Dahlia Shan.
Good.
It seems to be pointing back to that year that she was gone.
Agreed. The devil on her shoulder, perhaps. But it's impossible to know at this point. Regardless, this is the real enemy that's coming.
Do we really think that Herix is being controlled, or do we think that he's just a child being possessive of his birthright and maybe listening to his allies who have nefarious plans?
Well, we heard Quincy cuts an eye to Buddy, or the Thimbles talk about the indication that someone is being controlled by a Mind Flayer. I mean, the different colored eyes, the obsession with taking power. It all seemed to indicate that he was in fact being controlled.
Got in over his head.
Right. I mean, as people often do when they get into these sort of things.
Perhaps he was just listening to the advice of his mother. Which
So-
turned him wrong.
Maybe she is part of Odyssey. Sorry, I'm just throwing out any wild theory that comes to mind
That's a
just
little
to
off
see
the
what
wall,
sticks.
But after
Here's
this whole thing, I'm not surprised anymore.
a less wild theory or idea. You all might need to go back to Everil.
How about not yet?
It's
Hey, Helaena,
Hey, DM.
you've been looking at those maps for quite a while.
Yes.
The mines of Delavik are just outside of Redoran.
Oh.
Helaena sort of turns back around to study the maps again. And just puts her finger on the map and says, well, if you don't want to go to Everil yet, then you should go to the mines of Delavik.
Wow, they
And she
really are right
gestures them around and just keeps her finger right there on the mines.
there. Wow, it's. I wonder.
It does seem like we are being guided in some way
The keys.
to where we need to be.
DM,
Yeah, man.
we never found out what those keys were to, correct?
That is correct.
Could they perhaps be keys to a prison?
They very well could be.
The keys. That guy points at letter again. I think-
Helaena, what do you know about the mines of Delavik?
I don't know, DM. What do I know about the mines of Delavik?
Make a history roll.
I don't think history. Nah. Well, I got a +2. It's not awful. That's an 18 total.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
I
we
rolled another
take
16.
18
I rolled
totals.
another 16. The dice like 16s tonight.
In the mines of Delavik, outside of Redoran, in the kingdom of Everil and Salon Pravati. It is said that cursed treasure lies deep within the mines for anyone who dares enter it. King Avera Everil begins the construction of the city of Everil at age 20, but it's rumored that he then awoken a horrible creature named Descala, and then sends miners to dig deep into the Pravadian mountain range for jewels and valuable.
We were briefed a little bit on the mines, mostly to never go near them. King Avera established them. They're some sort of... Quincy, help me out. There's some sort of folk story about them, isn't there? Curses?
Ooh, certainly.
Monsters? Something?
Yes, known for the glorious cursed treasures that are supposedly held within, but I honestly thought that was just a tale, you know?
The
Isn't there
way
something
that
about-
I heard it was that
Rufus, what are you
Innocent
doing in here? We
creature.
cleared this.
How did you get back in here? Everyone left.
yeah,
Rufus,
I
I don't
listened
want you-
in at the door.
It's
You want me
very
to take something else of
disrespectful.
yours, Rufus? You get out of here.
All right, never mind. Bye-bye.
No,
you can say- you can
Rufus,
say
Rufus, come back.
Rufus.
Bye-bye.
No, what?
Rufus, what do you remember?
Speak your piece and then leave.
I mean, if you really want my opinion,
Yes.
well, it's nice to feel dated. You
We very
sure?
much need this information.
Rufus,
Yes,
this
please.
is an order from your commander. Please impart upon us your knowledge.
Oh, well, that's an order from the commander. While this creature was still weak and didn't understand its powers, it began to prowl the mountains. This creature was dark and ancient, the only one of its kind, a sleeping but corrupted dragon devil that lives deep in the Pavadian Mountains, directly to the west of Radaran, made completely of ethereal magic of the Nymaris.
Well, now I understand why we're told not to go bother it.
Does it have any symbology, Rufus?
Symbology?
Yeah. Any
Well,
symbolism that represents it in any way whatsoever?
It's said to be the creature of both Drasil, the creator of dragons, and of Perivale Dise, the Lord God of Death.
I'm gonna whip out the black card. Be like,
Oh, the black spot, the black card.
Oh, black spot. Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. Whatever.
That's
Can you
right.
look at that for me?
Yeah, I've seen a Kraken.
Yeah. Okay.
Rufus, we might need to talk about making you my second in command.
Oh, well, thank you for that, mate.
But he has no cloak.
But I thought that, Redoran focused heavily on mining within the mines of Delavic. Isn't that right?
Well, yeah, but we don't go near the mines of Delavic.
But I thought you were known for mining within the mines of Delavic, according to this thing that you sent us.
Yeah, directly outside of it. This specific mine. And I mean this.
Oh.
I mean this as Noah, the dungeon master, very specifically. There is one specific mine they don't go near.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
okay,
other
that makes
ones
sense.
they do. Okay.
Have a location to go to there.
It's said that this Drascalo is encased in amber, but no one's been in there for millennia. There's
you're saying
a great creature that guards the amber, a warden.
Oh. Are you saying that Drascalo is kind of common knowledge? And that it was just, this giant dragon demon?
It's more
encased in amber?
legend. It's legend amongst us miners and amongst us god people of Rhetoric.
Okay.
Very
That would
active.
explain why I've never heard of it.
Agreed.
So
That is a terrifying thought.
I'll stay here and prepare to evacuate people in case you all wake up something that we can't deal with.
I'm having second thoughts about going to this mine. I mean, if...
Abydan, is there a Church of Adarine here in Redoran?
I bet there is if it has anything to do with miners.
She looks at the map of the city.
Pretty good.
Yes, there would be.
A late night prayer session? With all 5 of us. Maybe.
May as well. You sure you want to trade for veteran now? Because apparently I've got cursed minds, and dragon devils, and I'm really starting to like this real estate.
Well, apparently you're supposed to get the source of all magic, so who knows what that means.
Ooh. I don't know, but I feel like both of us are somehow getting a really bad deal. Quick, to the
Helaena,
church!
okay. Bye, Abydan. Helaena, you...
Not leaving, I mean, we're all going, are we not?
In a second.
Okay.
Helaena, you've looked at their resources already, I'm assuming, within the little bit that you've been here.
Yes.
They wouldn't happen to have any spare treasures of magical capabilities to impart to us, would you?
I can't help the DM's frozen or if he's just staring at us like we're idiots.
I think it was both for a little
DM,
bit.
do I have any magical treasures and Redoran I can impart upon my compatriots on their quest to go fight a warden
On
for
their
a big...
death
Abydan,
mission.
look, there's a holy avenger for you.
Captain America,
right.
how'd you get here?
Oh,
He looks so disappointed in us.
Holy Avenger, holy guacamole. Budrick Man.
Holy Avenger, holy guacamole, that got me. That was funny.
You can never tell what's gonna actually get you.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm a goof. Yes, no, there are weapons that you guys may retrieve once you guys level up to level 4, which congratulations. You're level 4.
Yes.
Yay.
I'm sure we'll go over what we got. Too,
Yeah, we'll
but not right
go
now.
over that next session. Yeah. But yes, I'll give you guys +2 magical weapons. Magical
Plus-
weapon of your choice.
+2?
Oh,
That's
wow.
what I said. I said what I said.
I'll
Well.
compromise with you and get a dragon weapon, because that'd be sick as hell.
Wow. Well, that's pretty. That's a pretty good.
+2 magical weapon of our choice, or a magical weapon with rarity.
Of your +2 magical weapon of your main combat, like your main hand.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Helaena.
Helaena will probably just summon a guard and be like, I need you to bring better weapons than what they've got currently.
And armor. That'd be great.
It would be my pleasure. Grab them now.
Thank
That
you.
should be your general.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Thank you, General Tim.
You're welcome. My name is not Tim.
It is now. Thank you,
it's-
General
it-
Tim.
Why do you have
It's
to abuse these
Tam.
guards so much?
It's
Tim, don't fight it.
Tam.
Oh,
Tim, don't fight
Tam. Sorry, my Everilian accent just butchered your name.
It's General Tam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, General Tim. My name is General Mills.
It's Tam, damn it.
No, I'm
We-
General Mills.
We really
Tam.
should
Well, it's not Tam.
Go
We
to
really
the-
should what?
Get the better weapons?
get the weapons, if you will.
Get the
Yes,
weapons.
I'll be happy to grab those for you.
Thanks, Tam.
We need to go to church, guys.
Is Tam still standing here?
Yes, until you dismiss me, Tam is here.
Tam, I
damn
assumed
it, go
that the
away.
order was a dismissal. Please go retrieve the weapons and bring them back here.
Thank you. I will go grab those. My
I'll
name
take it
is
long.
Tam, or Tammy for short.
Thank you, Tam.
It's Tammy for short.
That's right. It's convoluted.
Stop talking to Tam. We're never gonna get.
It's
We're stuck in a
not,
Tam loop.
sir.
We're
Right
stuck in
there.
a Tam loop, guys.
Wow, Tara, that was great.
That was hysterical.
Hysterical.
Tamical.
Kate is just gonna quit now.
I
All right, that was a
Forgot to
great
mention
run.
I'm
also
looking at
Buddy's
plus
last
2
task.
magical weapons. I'm a
Yeah.
little distracted.
As Tam is leaving, I shout to them like, "I'll take a long sword."
Okay.
So, church?
Church.
Yeah, let's go
Oh,
to church. I'm going. Sorry. Grab your weapons.
We're getting close to.
Sleep deprived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, cool. So you guys end up heading over to the Church of Abydan, correct?
Yes.
Very good. You all arrive at this very, very, very modest building, which is notated as the Church of Abydan. It at one point was probably very great, but now is nothing more than just a shack.
Right, this place has seen better days, but it's still good for a sermon or two. Is there anyone around here?
No, there is no one guarding it. It's wide open.
Shall we go in then?
There are graffitis on the walls as soon as you walk in, as though, again, this place has not been touched in almost 1,000 years.
Helaena runs her hand over one of the dust-covered pews and says, "No wonder Everil is in such disarray if its patron goddess is being disrespected like this."
Whatever happened, for her to renounce humanoid races like this must have been quite the schism.
What's the altar look like?
Completely barren.
What is like the symbology there?
I got
Or like what is the actual appearance of it?
Yeah, the symbology there is just a simple cloud, and that's what the altar looks like as well. Is a floating cloud that has been ritual cast there. That it is just a cloud mixed with this Gothic architecture, where it's very short, but the architecture itself is resembling of sort of a myriad dreamscape.
Are there any statues to the goddess?
There is one statue to Adirine, and it is arms open towards the altar where the clouds are.
All right, give me a moment. I'm gonna touch the cloud. What does it feel like? Is it like it's stable? Can I put stuff on?
It's icy cold. It's icy cold and is completely transparent to touch.
Well, all right. Weird altar, but we can make this work. Hold on.
I go into my priest pack, pull out a little kind of pewter bowl, and I get some of the holy water that I've still got, and I pour it into the bowl. I take out 2 little candle placements, 2 sticks of incense, flicker them to life, push them next to the cloud, but not touching it, not anywhere near it.
Dreams, prophecy, time. Does anyone have something to keep time with? A timepiece.
Time with? I don't think that invention has come around, has it?
Sundials exist, my guy. Hands.
I put my hand on top of my other hand with it sticking straight up so the shadow will be cast.
Close enough.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh wait. Yeah, go ahead.
question about Adirine.
Yeah.
When you say dreams, do you mean literally sleep dreams or dreams in general, as in not only sleep dreams, but my dream is to blank, or my dream is that blank?
Sleep dreams. Sorry.
Okay.
That's a good point. I will cast Minor Illusion to create a sundial.
Okay.
Helaena takes off her jacket, balls it up, puts it on the floor, and then lays down and says, "I think if we want to contact the goddess of dreams, we're going to need to take a nap."
I agree. Just
Wait. We're doing what now? Wait, we're going to contact her?
I'd like to try. I feel like we're being led in directions, and I have no idea what's going on. And I don't like that. I like to get my orders face to face. It's the military in me.
Sure.
Hold on.
And I take out a little book and set it next to the sundial.
There we go. Old Book of Prophecies. Half of them haven't come true, but it should still work as a conduit.
Abydan, your conduit begins trigger.
We're not even asleep yet. Holy shit, what's going on?
It doesn't matter if you're asleep or not.
Okay,
I'm not even a priest, and that offended me.
Everyone
Helaena
get
likes
ready,
it,
because
so.
this is going to be a little intense, I think, if this is going off now.
Do I feel anything?
No, the only one who truly feels anything is Abydan. Abydan, you are surrounded by a pulsing silver light. A holy light.
Hello?
Renevar. Abydan Renevar.
That is my name, yes.
I'm glad you have finally found who you should truly devote yourself to.
He fumbles for a second, looks at the holy symbol on his neck. Is it finally acquired a symbol now?
That is correct. It is a symbol of a cloud.
What is it you desire to speak with me about, my lady? We all have questions for you.
What questions do you have for me?
My sister, whether she accepts our family ties or not, is the one that would most directly like to question. Her mind is close to me. If you have the power to talk to me, could you perhaps talk to both of us?
Unfortunately, I can only choose my children, the ones who truly understand who I am, and that is you, Abydan.
Then I'll be blunt. What would you have us do? These fragmentary messages aren't enough.
That is a deep question. I must ensure that Driscalo does not come awake again. I must have my church reestablished to its once great state from 1,000 years ago. You must assist young Herix Halbin in taking control of the kingdom of Everil and take the throne. My goals, by assisting Herix and destroying Driscalo, if he is to be fully awakened, we must preserve Everil and what's keep it as a prosperous city as long as we can. I have sided by Herix Halbin to ensure the kingdom of Everil reestablishes my church, and I will give you aid in attempting to destroy Driscalo if he is awakened. I will assist Shavera, by extension, in helping Herix reach his goals. I will not align with Drasil or Paravel Dise. With that, she will then fade away.
Abydan is going to... He's just going to cast everything he has into, like, one last, like, mental projection at her and be like, but Shavera is evil. He hurts the very people of the nation you would seek to save. We cannot abide this. There must be another way. Please, I beg of you.
It is to my understanding that Shavera does not know what he does by attempting to awaken Driscalo. If he does, then that means a deal was made with him to have entire reign of Salin Pravati if he is able to assist him take over Everil and find a way for Driscalo to live forever in the City of Prosperity. If he raises Driscalo, that means his plan is to betray Herix Halbin and the priestess Amestra.
Plan remains the same, just of greater scope. We will stop Shavera. We'll find another way to unite this kingdom again. I will not damn them to subjugation. As your priest, it is my duty to carry out your good works, not your evil ones.
Dream well, my dear priest. Dream for all 5 of the bastard children. Abydan, you snap out of it.
Ah!
Did you get an answer?
I got so many answers. They are pounding at my mind. So, we need to do a few things to prevent, essentially, the end of civilization upon this continent.
prevent Driscalo from awakening, reestablish my lady's church, and assist Herrick in taking the throne. Apparently, Shavera seems to be making deals with Driscalo. Herrick's intentions were to unite the kingdom under him, presumably with Shavera's help. But Shavera clearly had other plans. Well, things are as they are now.
Let's return to the mayoral house. I don't think anyone will begrudge us sleeping in a few of the intact rooms, at least for a night. You all can make your plans in the morning, and I will start my role as captain of the guard here. In addition, I don't think anyone's going to tell me no if I send a squadron over to sweep and clean up the temple.
I would appreciate that.
You all go back. Quincy.
There's a lot of information being thrown around. Lots of things that all of us have to talk about, think about, but Quincy is honestly at this point just overwhelmed with it. But his mind is brought back to this could be the last time that they see Helaena for at least a long time. And so they are getting their arrangements ready for the night, and before they actually turn in, Quincy will meet Helaena in the hallway outside the bunk rooms or whatever they are. Hey, so this might be by then.
It might be.
I know I've already said sorry and all that, but we haven't always seen eye to eye. I just want to say, whether or not we are blood related, doesn't really matter to me anymore. You are my sister in arms at times. You are my sister in other ways as well. And try not to cry, as you can see.
Helaena pulls Quincy in for a hug.
He is rigid at first, but then accepts it. I just don't know how we're going to make it without you.
You will make it just fine, as the four of you always have. With strength and courage and your love of each other to guide you through.
Yeah, sure.
She's actually got that new +2 short sword sheath at her side. She says, you know what? I really hope I don't have to use this while I'm here. But I will keep it at my side and think of you all. And think of you, Quincy, asking me if it's worth it whenever I draw this sword.
He will pull his +2 longsword that he got, sporting the insignia of Redoran on the pommel. And we will always think of you when we draw our weapons. Because, again, whether you like it or not, we are united.
I hope you hear my voice saying in your head, don't rush into danger! Come up with the plan first! Quincy, don't die!
And I'll relish every time I hear that. And he will, without you making a motion or anything, just tap his pommel to yours and then resheath.
Yeah. She nods her head to Quincy and opens the door to her quarters. Good night, Quincy. We may see each other again in the next few days that you all are in the city, but I think I'm going to be very busy.
We'll at least nod our heads and wave goodbye.
I wish you all the best. I really do.
Thanks. I think we'll need it.
She gives him this sort of like soft, sad smile that speaks a lot about what she wishes could have been. And she slips into her room.
And as she's starting to slip in, next time we see each other, we'll get a game of dragon chess.
Yes, we will. With that, she shuts the door.
He slowly makes his way back to his.
Thus ends Helaena as part of the bastard children of Everil to go to bed for the night, not in death, not in inherent sadness, but with purpose. Purpose that the bastard children have all been given. You all will see Helaena in passing in the next 2 days and will notably maybe have nods towards her, just brief moments of understanding. But with that, we're at Tilda, Quincy, Abydan, and Buddy Luckyhands, ready to move forward. Thank you all so much for listening. And with that, that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for listening.
Listeners, it has been an honor and a pleasure to be a part of this podcast. But unfortunately, I have some personal life stuff going on that will prevent my future participation. I hope that you have enjoyed Helena's story. And we will see where the story takes her siblings.
Tara, we love you.
I love y'all.
It was very fun.
Hit us with it one last time.
Goodbye, goodbye.
Hey,
Cute.
there it is.
Good night.
Hello again. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We sure hope that you enjoyed today's episode and will continue listening as the story continues. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to like, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Or if you're listening elsewhere, be sure to drop a review on the app of your choice. If you would like to follow us on social media, you can find us at bardun.adventures. That is BARDUN.adventures. If you enjoyed the music featured in this podcast, you might consider contributing to the creator's Patreon at Drinker the Bard. That's DRINKARD, the Bard. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you next time.
The numbers that were prophesized consisted of the following: 215, 115, 38, 323, 449, 54, 710, 82. The next series was 9497. The last series was 101, 107, 1010, 1018. After deciphering the code, the party is able to determine that it makes out a very simple sentence. Dreskala is here.